suit or soups? In this recent trip that Debbie and I made to New York, and it was based on a ministry trip, but I mean we did get to see some sights and everything. And believe me, we saw some sights. You go on the subway, you see some sights. And what I think's funny is that they're always announcing on the subway system. That's your main way of transportation, but they're always announcing, if you see any suspicious person or actions, please notify someone. I'm going, well, for us, just about everybody on those subways are suspicious looking. But, really, this trip was a pleasant trip. I'd been to New York twice in my life when I was in the military, and those experiences were not so well. But they said that they were, over the last 20 years, they've been trying to change the image of New York. I mean, the police were friendly this time. The people were more friendly, when you try to ask for directions and everything. But one thing I noticed on the subway is that you had people dressed in all different fashions. Some with suits, some just common clothes. Some you could tell that possibly were street people. But the bottom line is that you look at people with suits and you think, well, they might be better off. But I saw this one guy asking for money or food and on the subway, and there's this lady there that she didn't look very well off at all, but she opened up her bag and found some food in there and gave it to this guy. So some of the others didn't. We had the opportunity to help out a street person in one area, um, to some degree, provide a meal for him. But the thing is that a lot of people go to soup kitchens because they possibly don't have anywhere else to go, and a lot of people live in suits and they possibly have places to go. But it's not always the case. You can't judge by appearance. When the Lord told Samuel, the prophet Samuel, to look for a king, to anoint a king, he went to the house of Jesse. And Jesse presented all of his sons but one. And that one that was missing, who happened to be the chosen one, was out in the fields taking care of the sheep. And Jesse would say, well, do you not have any more sons? These are not the ones the Lord is wanting to choose for me to anoint to be the next king. He says, well, I have one out in the field. And he said, well, call him in. And he was not to the stature of his other brothers. And, he was just young. And but, God looks at the heart. He looks at the heart of people. And we're not to judge by the outer appearance. And that's one thing you had to really be careful on doing, especially in New York City, because there's all types. There's people that are, well, I guess you just say, you got the good, bad, and the ugly, But it was interesting to see that people in general, no matter if they had a suit or if you think they needed food, they were willing to answer questions. Now, of course, there was a lot of tourists there too. They had just had the marathon, and there were a lot of foreigners, even people from Europe. And I guess not just because of that, but that was one of the main events going on. But you seen tourists everywhere, and of course, they couldn't help you because they're in the same situation we were. We didn't know. We went with our friend when we were with her while she was working. We went out on our own and used our subway app and tried to get around. And the Lord really used us to plant a lot of seeds in people's lives. We gave away some of our the Bondservant of Love More Than Conquerors CD and a couple tracks to people. We ministered to several people, not just the three main ones that we went to go see, but there were others that were friends of. One was a friend of this person. One person we went to visit. But all of it comes down to: are you looking at the suit? Are you looking at the ones that eat the soup? And I just want to encourage you to be open, to be sensitive to the Lord, to be able to show His love flowing through, no matter what the situation is. and to encourage people. Um, uh, you know, encourage them to put their eyes on Jesus. And that's the one question I'd always ask. We ask people on the street, or if we were out getting a bite to eat, I'd ask the waiter, and I said, "How's your relationship with Jesus?" And a lot of them was like, "Oh well, it could be better, you know." And some of them was like, "Well, I believe that all ways lead to, all the different ways lead to God and stuff." And well, that's an open door to be able to talk to some of those folks. But remember to look not at the suit and not at the suit, okay? But look to the heart. Look at what Jesus is using you to reach out to, and be sensitive to Him, and be able to reach out to people who are hurting, and sometimes they don't even know that, but their identity has been so crushed. You can plant seeds in their lives to show them their true identity the way God intended them to be, and to bless them. And for you, always be blessed, and do what? Keep your eyes on Jesus.